Tom Burgess coming to you today from our YouTube studio here at Aurora Corporate Center. Burgess Commercial Real Estate has been building light industrial buildings for about the last 15 years. We have built a little over 100 different units in the I-88 corridor. And a question that we have frequently revolves around build out. What can I build? What can't I build? What do I need to get a permit for? What don't I need to get a permit for? A lot of simple answers there. A build out is whatever you want to put inside of your unit. That's a wall, a door, that's construction. And typically that requires a permit because you are somehow altering the interior space. I'm an advocate for getting permits because number one, it keeps the city happy with you and what you're doing, and number two, it keeps your property value high because when somebody moves in, it's a permitted space. There's not this question when the fire department walks through and says, hey, you didn't have a permit, and then all of a sudden everything breaks loose because the city doesn't have any record of that being there, and it can be ugly. So I'm an advocate for getting permits, doing it the right way. It doesn't really take a whole lot longer, and it can save you some big headaches in the long run. We can build just about anything inside of the buildings that we have here. We start out with what we call a shell. A shell simply means that it's the concrete walls all the way around the outside of the building. All of your utilities are brought to the shell. Distribution of those utilities is part of the build out. So your plumbing is brought to the shell, your electricity is brought to the shell, you get an electric panel, your gas pipe for heat is brought to the shell, and you do get a unit heater as part of the shell, and your life safety phone and data are brought to the shell. Your alarm and your data hooks up. I think there's 25 pair in each unit. Makes us a little bit unique in the industry. Most other builders don't do that, but we know you need it, so why not put it there? The build out itself is completely up to you. Of course, there are certain restrictions that code puts on us, but there are a lot of very unique build outs that can occur with inside these shell buildings. And with an architect that has a good, solid understanding of code, we can typically get you exactly what you want. I'm a firm believer also in thinking as three-dimensionally as possible. Most of what we build has a second-story office or second-story storage space. When you go up, it's always less expensive because those first floor square footage is what pays for all of the expensive infrastructure costs in a building, and therefore that second story comes in at oftentimes less than half of what the first floor does. It's also a nice place to put owners' offices. Most of my owners go upstairs, so they're kind of out of the hustle bustle of downstairs. They can actually get some work done. As far as different other elements that you might need, if you do a larger second story, the city will require an elevator. That starts out as a rather small elevator, over 1,000 feet. If you get up to 3,000 feet, it's a big elevator. Stairways, pretty much up to you. Minimally 3 feet wide. You can go wider if you'd like. We try to put a lot of glass in our buildings so that you get a lot of shared light coming through, and your executive offices can all have windows pretty much. Bathrooms, pretty much as many as you'd like. Normally 2 per floor is what it's designed for. Warehouse build-outs are normally pretty straightforward. Normally the only thing that you'd have back there would be heat, your lighting, and your life safety elements. Sometimes if you're pulling in a vehicle or have a certain manufacturing process, we would have a trench drain in the back to collect water or storm water so it didn't get all over your floor. That's pretty much it on build-outs. We do employ essentially an open book process where we bid the product out. If you are a subcontractor, an electrician, and you want to do the work on your building, that's fine, you do the work. If you have a friend that sells flooring and you'd like them to do the work, that's fine. We bid it out to them and they get the job. If you want to do your own painting, and I'd say about 1/3 of my customers do, you're more than welcome to. The only thing that we ask for, number one, is that if it is a required license, that the subcontractor you provide would be licensed. Number two, that they wouldn't slow down the process. And number three, that they would have the appropriate insurance certifications to insure the project. Pretty much it on build out. If you have any questions, please feel free. You can always reach me at our toll-free number, 877-57-BURGESS. Thank you.